So at first this was only a text that I wrote for myself, then I considered posting it, and then I was thinking there are probably a lot of people out there who are as lazy as I am and wouldn't read a long text, so I made a video. If you're not a lazy person, consider reading it because I'm awful at reading things out loud. Anyway, children of the internet generation. This is just a reminder to myself, but I share it because maybe it's useful for you too. Most of us use it daily, some probably every hour. I do. We love it, we enjoy it, we extract great advantages from it. I do love the internet. Without it, I wouldn't have met some of the people I love the most. Without it, I wouldn't have gotten some of the best opportunities I got. Without it, I wouldn't have fallen in love with photography as much as I did. Without it, a big source of inspiration would be gone. Without it, it would be so much harder to stay in contact with friends from far away. And there are so many more without it statements. But as in most hymns of praise, there's a but. And let's be honest, it's a big but. Every day we wake up to a newsfeed full of success stories, full of happy holiday photos, full of public love letters, full of people who seem to have the perfect face and body, full of people living the dream, living the life we would love to live. And everybody seems to travel the world for months and years. Everybody seems to have found the love of their life at a very young age. Everybody seems to make their dreams come true so easily. Everybody seems to lay at the beach looking flawless without any effort. Everybody seems to dance till dawn at the best parties on rooftops over New York and Paris. And looking through this every day makes it so easy to feel less beautiful, less successful, less loved, less loving, less lovable, less adventurous, and less lucky. It makes us think that our life is not as great as the one the others live. It's not like we don't see all the poverty and suffering on this planet. It's not like we don't know that millions on this planet live a life that we wouldn't swap ours for at all. It's just some weird thing in our head that we rather compare our life to the perfect things we see from the few people who live the dream. And actually we know that the last sentence is missing a seam. They seem to live a dream. Because this is how the internet mostly works. We share good moments, and often these moments are photoshopped additionally. And often the photo of the good moment looks even better than it actually was, because it was taken from a perspective that doesn't show you how it really was. We don't see the fights of a seemingly perfect couple, because who takes photos of fights? And we don't see the rainy days of a seemingly perfect holiday. And we don't see how much work and sacrifice was put into a seemingly perfect body, and how the person is actually not even happy with it because they judge themselves so much harder than we do. We don't see how much work stands behind the success of someone's achievers. It didn't come in a blink. And we don't see how maybe one of their loved ones is suffering a bad illness and they would swap their success within a blink to heal their loved one. We don't see how the person who's traveling the world maybe has a very bad relationship with their parents, or how they were bullied in school, or how they struggle with themselves. Because often we only share good things and make them look and sound even better than they actually were. We all know that most people only show the perfect moments, and that photos and words have the ability to make it look even better than it was. We all know that the others have problems too, but we trick our mind. We blind it out and we believe those perfect illusions. And we compare our life to these perfect illusions. And our life obviously has no chance to compete with the collage of perfect illusions. Our generation grows up with the thought that everything is possible, that you only have to have a certain amount of followers and likes, and then you will travel the world forever without having to pay for it or work for it, and everybody will love you and you will be happy. And obviously we all know it's not like that. Most often you have to work for it very hard. And having many followers doesn't make you happy automatically, and traveling the world doesn't make you happy automatically. We all know it, but we just trick our mind and blend it out. A month ago I was traveling the US for 2 months, living in a van, seeing the most beautiful places. And many people reached out to me telling me how they were jealous because I seemed to live the dream. And don't get me wrong, it was 2 of the best months of my life. And I know I'm super lucky that I got the chance to do this. But nobody sees how behind the facade I was struggling hard because I was super unsatisfied with the pictures I took during this time. And nobody sees how there were fights. And nobody sees how doing a trip like this, you have a lot of time to think about yourself and your future and who you are and simply struggling with yourself. In fact, the things that make me most happy at this trip were things that you don't have to travel to the other side of the world for. It was things like a friend pushing me on a swing, or like having a good conversation in rocking chairs, or making pancakes for breakfast, or holding someone's hand, or playing music together, or watching the world from a treehouse. It really taught me that the people who always say, it's the little things, they are right. And in the end, all I want to say is stop comparing your life to perfect illusions. Maybe not comparing at all would be the best, but let's be honest, for most of us, including me, not comparing is simply impossible. So maybe we just have to remember that behind every perfect illusion there are problems too. There is no perfect. And we should rather search for the small things instead of the big, shiny perfect, and remind ourselves every day that perfect illusions are still illusions. And I don't say it's easy, it's hard. But I say it's worth trying because most definitely it will make us a lot more happy.